Kids, don't do drugs. Unless you're very ill, like me today, then maybe you should do some like paracetamol or some like Sudafed.
Yeah.
Just get it finished, because I've probably got a very deep voice today.
Well, before we even started this podcast, I've made him blow his nose about 500 times.
Yeah.
Because he keeps going.
Man, it was very runny yesterday. So I think you got off lightly today with the video version especially. You got off lightly. Because it could have been yesterday where it's just running constantly.
Yeah. So there'd be physical snot coming out your nose.
Yes, but not today. We're all good today. I might have a little bit of a red nose, but
it might be a little sniff here and there, and but at least there's no snot.
Yes, exactly that. Right, everyone. Welcome to the Paul and Tom podcast. If this is your first time here, thanks for coming along. There is a video version and an audio version of this. So the video version you can get on Spotify and on YouTube. And if you're over there and you've realised, hey, I would like to listen to this in the car,
Yeah.
there's an audio version, and that's on pretty much every podcast app you could possibly think of, including Apple Podcasts. And you should go over there right now, give us a 5-star review, because it helps us out,
Exactly. So you can, like Paul was saying, you can stick us on in your car on the way to, maybe to one of your relatives' funerals or something.
You're obsessed.
What?
With a relative's funeral?
Yeah, but I'm just giving an example.
Okay, yeah.
Of like where you could play it.
Might not be the same
Obviously
kind of mood.
No, but like just don't put it too loud, because that'd be disrespectful. Just have it in the background.
I turn it off when you get into like the crematorium.
So just don't play it in the crematorium. Just play it on the way, like when you're following the coffin behind, like just quietly. And then when you get to crematorium, switch it off. But yeah, today we're talking about drugs.
Yes. If that's not a drug-fueled thought, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Not that you're drug-fueled right now, are you, Tommy?
Caffeine. Caffeine is a drug.
Yes. Let's get a bit of that caffeine in my system. I've got a nice little tea.
Oh yeah, tea is caffeine as well.
Caffeine.
The money is run by the world is run by money.
The money is run by. The world is run by money. Yes, that's nothing to do with drugs.
The world is run by money.
And money's run by drugs.
But the world is also run by drugs.
Okay, there we go.
That is a statement which is very true. If you think about it, it's very true.
Well, we're going to have an interesting conversation today, because I think we're on two very different spectrums of drug use.
Listen, okay, before we start this, I feel like potentially this could be the last ever episode I'm ever in of a Paul and Tom.
Tommy could get cancelled.
Yeah, physically get cancelled off the face of the earth, in fact. There's like, maybe in my family.
No. You'll be all right.
We'll see.
What have you let yourself in for with this, eh?
Well, I don't know. I knew this was coming, and I really don't know if this is going to be a good idea. But you know what? What's happened has happened, and what's going to happen will happen. I'm full of great statements today. I'm full of great statements. That has just come out my mouth without me even thinking.
What will be will be. That's basically that was like a long version of what will be will be.
Yeah, but it sounded way better than that. Way better. Maybe it's the caffeine.
It's the caffeine. It's the drugs. So where do we start with this? Should I? I feel like basically I should get my stories out of the way.
You always start with the question, so you go first.
But I feel like I should just...
I mean, it is Paul and Tom, so Paul always starts.
I feel like I should just get my stuff out of the way first. Because then it can open the floodgates.
Answer a question, answer something we both can answer.
Okay.
Do you take drugs?
Do I take drugs?
Okay. So let's just start from fresh. Okay.
Yes.
Today in this podcast, we're talking about drugs, whether there be illegal drugs or legal drugs you get in the pharmacy, or any sort of drug.
I mean, I think we're going more towards the illegal term.
Oh, okay. Are we going for the illegal?
I feel like we are.
Oh, okay. So we're just going to chuck the pharmaceutical drugs out the window and we're going straight into.
I mean, you could go for some tramadol and some cocodamol if you wanted, but I don't think we're going down that route.
Yeah, okay.
Just to get it started, me personally.
Okay.
Let me just start by saying, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only.
Oh yeah. I feel like you need to put this before everything else. I
didn't mean to start with that, but then you went on a rant talking about a tea. But let's just say this is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah,
we're just talking about our experiences. We do not condone the use of drugs.
I can hear your nose blocking up as we talk. Have you got a Colombian cold, Paul?
I've got a... Jesus.
Was it just a normal cold?
It's just a normal cold. This
for the viewers out there, a Colombian cold is something we'll explain in a minute.
Well, I would never know because I've never ever had cocaine, so I would not know, Tommy. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Video version, see Tommy's face and reveal all his secrets. So
carry on.
Personally, I am very innocent when it comes to drugs. I've only ever had weed.
Okay.
Apart from one time at a stag do where I don't even know what it was. Tommy would know what it is, and it was very recent.
What? And who actually gave you that?
Probably you, was it?
Listen, doesn't matter where I got it from and who gave it to me, but yeah, okay.
So let's start up very innocent beginnings. When I was in school, that's the first time I tried weed.
Yeah,
and it was kind of the community I was with. I was a skater boy, grunge community.
Yeah.
And that kind of came along with it, and that was our weekend activity. Skateboarding, smoking a bit of weed. I think weed's good. I still think weed's good. Yeah. I don't think it should be illegal. I think it's ridiculous that it's illegal.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you could put alcohol and weed side by side, I would say alcohol is probably the worst thing in comparison.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like weed is something that could actually have some pharmaceutical benefits. It helps people. I don't see any doctors recommending alcohol as a pharmaceutical.
Yeah. I mean, alcohol can be fun. I mean, but then you go up with alcohol, but then the next day you come
absolutely
plummeting down.
You don't get that with weed, I don't think.
No, you get a little bit of haziness the next day, but nothing too bad. You get a bit of like in the eyes, like it's a bit heavy in the eyes, but it's nothing too bad. Yeah. I think the more you do it, the more that goes away. You don't really feel it the next day. But yeah, no, carry on. Just sort of explaining things here.
So
I'm sorry, this is going to open a whole new book towards me. Like no one knows this.
I know it is. So that's what we're here for. It's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I used to get away with this, but in high school, we used to call it the Koch, where it was the
Koch area.
Yeah, it was an abandoned car garage that was just for like a little bit off from where we used to live, and we claimed it as our Koch. We used to go there every weekend. Sometimes go there during lunchtimes at high school. Like we used to skate there.
Really?
We used to sit in there and we used to smoke weed in there.
Every weekend?
Yeah. And sometimes, like during our lunch breaks at high school, we used to go out and just smoke some weed. And it's like, how did we get away with that?
See, I've never done that.
How did we go back to classes and like the teacher would just be like, yes, I can't smell any weed.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happens.
That's the thing about weed though. Like you people like feel so paranoid about it, like walking about and feel like, oh my God, like how people are going to see that I'm high. And
I mean, that comes with the territory.
Yeah, but like you genuinely don't know if someone's high because Like, okay, maybe you can see it in the mirror, but it's literally just heavy eyes. But if you was to see someone in the street with heavy eyes, you think, oh, that's just what they look like.
I mean, it depends if you know the person or not. I think you can tell if you know a person.
Yeah, if you know the person, that's what I'm saying. You know they are high, but it's not really that obvious. Do you know what I mean? Even if, like, yeah, sometimes you get the giggles from it and everything like that, but sometimes you're like that anyway without even smoking weed.
Yeah. So this leads me on to one of my craziest experiences smoking weed, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, what is this, a bad experience or a good one?
Let me just go over it. Right? Okay. So when I smoke weed, I wouldn't smoke it all the time.
Yeah,
it'd just be like every so often when we go out on the weekends. It's not like a constant thing that it's part of my day to day. It's more like a leisurely thing that I do every so often. Cut to in my late 20s, okay, maybe mid 20s. Went to a stag do in Amsterdam, right? As you do, you smoke weed there. Oh. It's legal, right?
Oh yeah.
We went to a cafe and we perused the different options we could get, and there was one that just caught our eye.
I still remember this name, and I've hunted for it.
Have you?
I've never found it. I've never found it.
Dr. Grinspoon.
Yes, I've never found it. I've tried to hunt for it.
Dr. Grinspoon. And I've done a bit of research with this man. He was like a scientist who was really into studying the psychedelics and cannabis and just studying the properties.
Yeah.
And I think knowing that now, it's like, well, this was some kind of concoction, because this was not just weed. This felt like it was laced with something.
Really?
Right? Because we had this, right?
This is hilarious.
And we were walking around the red light district, and suddenly my whole body just dropped, and I was like, oh man, right? This is different.
This is bad, or this is
cut to me having my hands in my pockets, and I was getting paranoid, like my stuff's gonna get stolen.
Really?
Out of my pockets, and
you were getting paranoid,
getting so paranoid, right?
Oh
and I was
no!
like, oh my god, I'm starting to freak out.
See, that's bad, because you've put yourself in that.
Yeah,
and that's no one else. It wasn't that was you.
Yes,
that was pure you.
So I'm feeling up my pockets. I'm like, okay, there's so many people here. I feel like somebody's gonna steal my stuff out of my pockets. Look over, right? My mate Ben looks at me in the eyes. He's got his hands on his pockets.
Oh no!
We are in the same.
You're in the same state,
right? Turns into the best experience I've ever had.
Really?
Because we were such in sync. We were so in sync, right?
That it put you out. Two negatives made a positive.
Two negatives made a positive. We walked. Everyone went to this bar, and we both walked in there, looked at each other. We cannot be in this bar.
yeah.
There's like, so many people in here.
It's way too intense.
It's too intense in there.
I hate that feeling.
Yeah,
I know what that feeling is.
We literally stood outside, and we were talking 100 miles an hour. We were like, we need to record ourselves right now, because this is the most mental thing ever, right? And we were the conversations we were having. I can't remember what conversation we were having.
Yeah,
and the trip lasted so long, right? Everyone went home, right? Me and him just walking around the red light district all night long.
What, just you and Ben?
on this like
was
the
it just
same
you
momentum,
and Ben?
just me and Ben, just in this same zone, and we were like in sync. And I think that made our friendship that night.
Yeah,
that was like.
But it's funny how like drugs can do that to you, because it's such an impact to your brain, and it's such an obscure event what's happened. Yeah. So you'll never forget that. Like, that's such a pinnacle moment in your life. What you had together. So it's like, oh my god, like that's your thing.
Absolutely.
What happened, and how hilarious was that?
It's so good. It's like it's one of my favourite memories.
Yeah,
ever. It's so good,
literally.
And then the rest of that holiday was quite good as well. Just like little things like
but what about when your mate was holding on to the lamppost?
Oh yeah, he was. I don't know what he'd taken at that time though. He did not what he thought he needed to hold on to that.
Was that the same time though?
That was the same holiday, yeah.
No, but was that the same after the same?
Nah, that was a different. That was like
Grinspoon.
That was like a different day.
Oh, okay.
I don't think many of us had that Dr. Grinspoon. It's just like me, it's a few of us, but me and Ben had it proper.
That's hilarious.
But just different things like my mate Danny as well, who he ate a brownie that day, and just we all sitting in the park, just stoned, just sitting there, just chatting, and a butterfly went and landed on his foot, and it was like the most magical thing he'd ever seen.
What he did?
Yeah, he was like, it's on my foot. It's landed on my foot. It's like the most craziest thing.
And it was the funniest thing ever.
The funniest thing ever.
Oh, God.
But that is by far my biggest story about taking drugs. Other than that, it was just that one time a few months ago with you. But even then, I was drunk. I couldn't really distinguish the difference between.
Yeah,
I just felt like I was really drunk that night.
Yeah.
As apart from, and I had no socks on,
yeah,
and no
you
shoes for some
no
reason.
Socks
and everyone was calling me Mowgli.
Yeah, everyone was calling you Mowgli, and like the bottoms of your foot were like matte black.
Yeah,
like no, maybe a bit grey, probably the same colour as that wall actually behind me, same colour that. And no, but we were having a seriously good time. That was a good stag.
That was a good stag.
That was funny.
That was very good stag.
No, yeah, but Amsterdam's amazing.
It is amazing.
So many. I think I've been there like 6 or 7 times.
I'd love to go back again.
How many times have you been?
I think I've only been twice.
Twice, yeah.
I think I've only been twice, yeah.
But it's such a weird. It's such a weird atmosphere there. Like you can feel the vibe there. It's mental, and as soon as you did you feel like when you were there, right? Maybe it's just me, but every time I go, okay, I might sound strange here, but this is like a pinnacle moment for me. Like, so when you go there, you light up your first spliff, yeah, and you're walking around Amsterdam. Do you feel like they made Amsterdam for like people who get high?
Well, yeah, that's kind of like the reason. That's the tourist reason.
Yeah. But like, okay. Let me rephrase that because that is like, it sounds like I am high right now. That's what that sounded like. Let me rephrase it. So like, okay, smoked your first spliff. Yeah, you're walking around, and like you hear like all these noises, like all the beep noises from like from where the traffic lights are going off and like where the bikes are going.
It just sounds like
people
London.
Yeah, I know it does, doesn't it? People riding around on bikes. It feels like
London.
It feels like it's meant to happen. I don't know. I can't explain.
Are you talking about because it's primarily people riding bikes around there? It's like just
no. I feel like when you're riding around there, they've made but I don't know if it's just me, but when I was, let me just restart this whole sentence. So like I feel like when you're walking around there and you smoked a spliff, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm hearing all these noises, all these like traffic light noises, and I feel like they're purposely doing it to the people who are high.
Right.
And I'm just like, whoa, there's a lot going on right now. There's bikes everywhere.
In a bad thing or a good way?
I don't know. I see with me, like I can't really put my finger on weed. I feel like it's too intense for me.
Okay.
Like I enjoy it sometimes, but I feel like for me it's really intense.
It unlocks like a different kind of emotion.
No, I get so many thoughts what go in my brain and I can't even think. I can't think my own thoughts, and that's why what I find intense. And I'm like, what's going on?
It's this small RAM you got, isn't it?
Yeah,
small memory.
Literally, like I can't. There's all these thoughts going in my brain. My brain's rushing, and I tell you what, I've had a very similar experience to what you had, and it's the first time that probably it's happened to me. Like just by smoking weed itself, I was with one of my exes, and we were there, and we were in this coffee shop, and we were smoking this spliff. And I swear on my life, I'm in this like cafe, and I say to her, I'm like, I need to leave. I need to leave this cafe, because it's too intense. There's people sat beside me. It's like quite small, and she's like, okay, yeah, cool, we'll leave. I literally sit up in this chair, and as I sit up, I feel like first person mode goes into third person mode. And I can see my back for a millisecond. I'm like,
can
whoa.
see your
I was like, now, yeah. You know, in like GTA, like when you play Grand Theft Auto and you see yourself in third person.
Yeah.
That happened to me for at least, but not even a millisecond, like a second, like a flash, like that. And my heart was going. And I was like, I need to leave this place right now.
I'm in third person.
I need to leave right now. I'm in third person. That's what happened to me. And I needed to get out. And when I left, I didn't know what to do after that. It's just too intense. That's what happens. I've got all these thoughts going on in my brain. I'm like, why is this happening to me? It's like 100 miles an hour thought.
I'm in a computer game.
Yeah. Don't start with it. I feel like we're maybe in the Matrix or something.
We've gone down that route before.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go back to the beginning. What was your first experience of drugs, whatever drug that may be?
So my first ever experience was actually weed as well. I feel like that's everyone's first.
I think that's the gateway.
Yeah. But I still remember it because it's quite a funny story.
Okay.
Actually. I was at a house party in secondary school. And I believe it was in year 8, beginning of year 8. So I'm at one of my classmates. His name was Nathan. He was having a house party. He used to live up the road. Yeah. Right. So we were in the garden and everyone's passing the spliff round. And I'm like, I don't know about this. Don't know what's going to happen. Really don't know. And I've been drinking as well. Yeah. Yeah. So it's passed round to me. I probably have 1 or 2 tokes from it. That's it. That's
all you needed.
Okay. Well, I didn't know what he was going to do. Nothing happened. Like,
okay.
Just, I'm probably not even like that. Anyway, so nothing's happened to me. We're all in this kitchen having a laugh, drinking cups of tea, and this girl approaches me. She tries chatting with me. Okay. So I'm chatting back, as you do. Next thing you know, blackout. No idea what happened.
What?
All I remember, was waking up and she was still there.
What, and you're standing?
No. I was sorry. I was sat down like we were around this kitchen island. Okay.
Did she realise you blacked out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was laying on the kitchen side.
Okay.
Like my head was down and I lifted my head up. And I looked at her and she was still like talking to me. Right. And she was like, "You're rude." And I was like, "I'm so sorry. I have no idea what's going on right now. I have no idea." I must have just put my head down and fell asleep for a couple seconds. Yeah. Because, that's literally it. And then I had to leave after that because
you were done.
I was done. That was the very first experience. Quite a funny one, actually. And I'll never forget it. That was a good day.
Is that one of the early memories where you're like, I don't think I need weed in my life?
Yeah, I didn't really know what it'd done to me because you know when you're just like that young still, you're like, yeah. And I didn't really smoke it too much after that, to be honest. Like it was a very rare occasion. I didn't really smoke it too much till probably like later on, just before school finished, probably like college. So it was quite a long time after that. Yeah, that was the first experience.
Okay, well, before we go off into more higher class of drugs, I'll just gonna say why I never went past weed is because I've always had this thing where I always like to be in control of my own senses, and I don't like the thought of losing that, and that's why I've never ever done anything else. Okay. It kind of freaks me out to think that I wouldn't be in control. Like every so often, I used to get this when I did cross country randomly, right? I used to, if I run for too long, sometimes it almost like I go into third person mode, like you say, and it's like my body's running on its own, and I'm just there like experiencing it, and it used to freak me out. I used to hate it. So it felt like my body was running on its own.
Oh, okay. What, like the feeling?
Yeah. And that's
okay.
why I always felt like
you sort of go in an override mode, and your body just does the work for you.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
That's all. I've always been like, that's why I hate like not thinking like I'm not in control of my body, and that's why I've never done anything else.
Okay.
Personally, but I'd like to know what you went on to next after that.
I think before we go on, okay.
Yes.
Shall I just name everything I've ever done?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, so including weed.
Yeah.
There's a total of 7. Actually, sorry, there's a total of 8. Sorry.
Okay.
And there could be more. I've just literally...
You just forgotten them.
Yeah. I mean, you could count that one as, 9. Yeah.
One that might be that you might have taken.
No, well, I did take it, but I don't really know if you class it as that.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of it, but I'll explain it. Oh, God, this is bad.
Go for it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
So we're going to... Listen, I'm not proud of this. It's not like a competition. It's genuinely what I've been through. Everyone goes through their own things. This is just me.
Experimental stage.
Experimental. So just hold on to your horses and let's do this.
And please forgive Tommy. I don't need your forgiveness.
Okay.
Go on.
So weed.
Yes.
Cocaine.
Yes. I'd like you to rank these as well about which one you like the least.
Okay.
That'd be interesting.
MDMA/Mandy.
All right. I'd also like you to tell me like what kind of experience you get from these, because I wouldn't know what it would do to you.
I've got a story for all of them.
Okay.
So we can dive into each one if you want when we go through them. Ecstasy pills, which are basically the same as MDMA.
Yep.
Acid.
Jesus. I bet that's a good story.
Oh, it is. Mushrooms.
Yeah. Another good story.
NOS, aka laughing gas.
Okay, right. That's a bit of a minor one, surely.
Yeah, there was 3 more. 2CB.
No idea what that is.
Poppers.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was the one I just remember that name. And there was one more I can't remember the name of.
Is that the one you couldn't remember?
And ketamine.
Okay. Horse tranquilizers.
Horse tranquilizer. So that's 10.
Cool. Well, I want you to this deep dive into it. I want to hear your stories.
Okay.
Maybe go from your earliest experience.
I don't really know how to do this. I don't know.
Go from your earliest experience of like whatever one came first.
Okay, so we'll do that then. Okay, so from this experience, if I didn't have this experience, I don't think I would be the same person who I am today.
Has it decreased your RAM size?
Yes, massively. From this day onwards,
right.
It has.
Okay.
And I will tell you why I have tried these and everything like that. Okay. Like I say, I don't condone doing this. This is just my experience.
Entertainment purposes
don't take
only.
any advice from me. But yeah. So I was working for the company I work for now.
Okay.
And this guy joined. His name was Billy.
Right.
And he was one of them guys, right? If he's hearing this right now, I'm sorry, mate, but this is you. Okay? He's one of them guys who talk absolute rubbish all day.
Right.
But he was good for that.
Mm.
Okay? Like, he was quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah? Like, he would say, oh, yeah, my dad fell off a 10-story building and survived.
Yeah.
One of them guys.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And like next week he'd be like, oh, yeah, sorry, lads, my nan died. Can't come work. And he would say it the week after as well.
What's that? She died again?
She died again.
Okay.
Okay? One of them guys. So at the time, I was very innocent.
Mm.
and he wanted me to go to a rave with him.
Your first proper rave. Is
This
this where
is
it
my
opened your mind?
first, and this is the same story as I spoke about in the sex episode, where I went back with the two girls.
Okay. Yeah. This was the
with
same night.
threesome. So this is the first time I ever done Class A.
Okay. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
remember you saying yeah.
And also, so you can imagine how gone I was
Yeah.
with the two girls
Yeah.
as
When you
well.
went back. When you
And
went
when
back
I
to
was
all
in the uni block
Yeah.
in a random kitchen,
Freaking
not
out.
knowing what's going on. Okay, that was me,
That's half the reason why you left.
and this is part of the story. So this is part 2.
Yeah.
So I'm at this rave. We're at Egg Club, which is in London. Amazing club. Seeing my first ever house DJ, which changed my life from that day onwards. Okay,
Yeah.
my first ever house music experience. It was Martin Ikin, if anyone knows who that is. Anyway, so I'm there, and we had an ecstasy pill.
Right.
He told me to do the whole thing. I don't think that was a good idea because I had no idea what was going on after that. But I done it. I felt amazing, but everything felt like a blur.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know what to think about it.
What was the feeling from it though?
I think the only way to describe it was
Like
like
when you're really drunk.
a state of euphoria in my brain and my
Right.
body.
Right.
Like whole
Do you feel
body.
like you're in control of your own body? Or it's like when you're drunk where it's kind of just happening.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
your
yeah.
experience, whatever your body does, it's like
yeah.
you're along for the ride.
Literally, it's like when you're like really in the way what happened to me is like you're really drunk, but that's because I took the whole thing. So I don't recommend doing that sort of thing because it was just so intense. And I remember people looking at me saying, I want to be what he's on.
Oh, right. One of those ones.
Because I can imagine what my face looked like a monster under a bed, some sort of gremlin or troll underneath a bridge, something like that. So yeah, that was the first ever experience, and it sort of it opened my mind up massively because I was able to experience like music I love, like house music, and it was like, wow, what is this music doing to my brain right now? Like it's taken me on some sort of
this was
journey,
right in your code.
and I had no idea what was going on, and I was very interested by it. I was more fascinated by that than the actual feeling,
Right.
the thoughts going through my brain. So from that day onwards, and this is what this is sort of why I have done drugs. Okay, this is the reason. I'm not for the feeling of them. I'm for what it does to my brain and where it takes me.
Right.
Because I've been to places in my brain where I've never, like places you can't imagine.
Unlocked something limitless.
Exactly. And I got this is where it got a bit deep because I got addicted. Not addicted to drugs, but I was so obsessed with what it all meant.
Right.
What your mind is potential, like what your mind is capable of, and where you could possibly go to and not be in your body. That's what I was obsessed with. And yeah, no, that was literally it, and it got bad. Like it went down a bad road, and
still using ecstasy, you're still talking about? Or
well, no, just anything like me thinking that. Like I don't know, because I don't know, like I don't know why it took me down that road and why I felt like that, but either way, if you watch the Paul and Tom videos from beginning going through them. Like throughout them videos, I like, especially when all my hair is going all mad and stuff like that. That was my dark times, because I don't know what was going on in my brain.
Okay,
I don't know, and I was thinking bad thoughts. Like it was the only time in my life I've ever thought bad thoughts. I was in a bad place, really bad place. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to work. I even signed up to go down Deliveroo. I was going to
was
quit.
it around that time?
Yeah, I was going to quit as a plumber yeah, and become a
that long
deliverer.
ago.
Yeah, literally ride a bike round like my hometown and deliver food for people. That's what my state of mind was at.
Mm.
Why I thought that was a good idea, I really don't know. But that's what was going on.
Mm.
But anyway, yeah. So that's how my brain has always been towards it, and I still am. I'm still am intrigued by where drugs can take you.
It almost rewired you from that night onwards.
Yeah, exactly that. And this is one main reason why I DJ. This is the main reason, because I feel like, because I know this, because I know what music can do and where music can take you, I want that power to be able to do that to people. And I know, and
you want to be the wizard.
I've been there. I've felt that from DJs what they can do to people. So I want to unlock that power. I want to be able to do that, and that's where I've got my inspiration from, and that's why I've seen so many DJs perform, because I want to know what their power is and what they can do to me.
You feel like you can only harness that power within people when they're on drugs? Or do you think you can do it when you're not on drugs?
Oh, 100% without. No, but that's what I mean. Like, even without, you know, it doesn't. It's not really okay. Yeah, people on drugs. Yeah, you're about to send them away in their own brain. But at the end of the day, music's all about making people dance.
Yeah.
So
music's wonderful. It's like what it can do to you. Yeah.
It's mental. And yeah, but I've got so many stories with taking ecstasy, so like MDMA and pills. Like they do very mad things and crazy things. It's very intense, and I've had so many out of body experiences. Like, and I think like, wow, like the way I think about it is, I would want people to experience that, because it's something you didn't know that you could do. That's you doing that. You're like, I don't know what's going on, but it's something's going on. You're going somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not in your body, and you're actually capable of doing it. This is why people like meditate. I do really want to maybe think about getting into meditation and sort of learning like how to do that. So like have an out of body experience, and you know, there's a meaning behind it. It's a feeling like I would like people to know about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because it's a odd feeling, very odd feeling, but it's great. I feel like you learn more about yourself.
Okay, it's like unlocking something in your brain.
Yeah, you like, it opens up your mind massively. But yeah, like that's all really I've sort of had with really ecstasy pills. I'm not really, don't get me wrong, like it puts you in like a really euphoric state in your brain and your body, and you feel amazing, but I'm not really there for that. Like, I genuinely just love being sent away in my brain, and yeah.
See, I've always been of the mindset that, as I said, I don't like to think that my brain's being altered or something.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly. But that's what I mean. So, you know, when you smoke weed and you was really paranoid. Yeah, I 100% understand that. And I agree with you that, because I hate that feeling. Like, I don't like that feeling. And when I smoke weed, that's like a constant thing for me.
That's
and
what I can't you always go to.
Yeah, I can't get over that. It's always an intense feeling. I feel paranoid, and I just can't sort of feel comfortable with it. Like, it doesn't relax me whatsoever. But this is different. Like, this is, even though your brain's doing something else, you feel like it's a normal thing, what's happening. Right. Even though it's hard to get your head round, it feels like a natural thing what is happening to you, having like an out of body experience. It feels natural. That's the only way I can explain it. It feels like this should be happening. Like that is it feels like your soul is being released out your body. And you're like, wow, like this is, you're just going with it. It feels like a dream.
All right.
That's what it feels like.
Something's being unlocked in you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it's nothing ever bad.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
You've never had a bad experience on ecstasy?
Never.
Never.
Never have a bad. Maybe the only thing I could ever say bad about it is that I've probably thrown up once or twice, and I probably look like a gremlin sometimes, but you know, that's all part of it.
Yeah, I know. Going to the bad side of it, like Zoe's friends, she doesn't really speak to her anymore, but her friend's brother died because he had ecstasy, and it was to do with him. He wasn't drinking any water. Yeah. So, in your experience, would you always be drinking water? Yeah.
So with me, I'm very careful. So I always test. Always.
What test is that? What is that? Just having a little bit first?
No. Like I get a test kit and I test it.
Oh, right.
Like physically test what's inside it, and it tells you like if it's good or bad. So
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah. I'm so careful with it because listen, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, and
people mixing stuff with.
I tell you what, I have had bad experiences on it, and I'm not going to dive into that. But you can, like you say, it can get bad. But all I can say is definitely always test it, and I always test it. But yeah, I drink water. You
wouldn't be drinking when you're taking it, would you be drinking? I
don't really drink alcohol like a lot anyway. Like maybe have 1 or 2 drinks before I go out. But when I'm out dancing, I'm dancing. I don't care about drink. I don't care about alcohol. The alcohol is bad for you. That's what I think about alcohol. Like I've only ever had. It just makes you feel rough. Alcohol. I don't think it's good for your body, and I feel like because alcohol's legal. And it's like physically probably the worst one for you.
Where it's more damaging to your body.
I feel like the government have done that on purpose. I feel like people can just so easily get addicted to alcohol because it is a very, very easy thing to get addicted to. And I remember like when I was at college, like me and my friend upstairs, we used to drink like neat vodka. Up in my room.
Same. Yeah.
Like just like on a weekday before work. Like it was just, you know. But yeah, anyway. It can be bad, and you gotta be so careful. And I used to be stupid, but I'm no way stupid now. And if you're at the right place with the right music, you just need the smallest bit ever, and that's all.
Would you say it's almost like a spiritual experience?
It is all about the music. It's all about the music, and like there's a lot of places now where people abuse it, and it's so bad. And especially in this day and age, people put absolute rubbish, and you don't even know what you're taking. So you've got to be so careful out there. So I am careful, but yes. There can be bad experiences and people have died, but yeah, you just got to know what you're doing. You got to be with the right people in the right place, and don't be stupid because it is a serious thing.
Come on, next drug. I want to know these psychedelic drugs you've taken.
Oh God. Where can we go? I mean, a lot of them are just stupid. I don't recommend doing the NOS. I feel like that's probably the most.
I mean, people have died of that recently.
Yeah. But the thing is with that, it's become so easy. It's become so easy for people to take like NOS in balloons nowadays, and they call it laughing gas.
Yeah.
Because before, right, all you had was a little balloon canister, and you would have to crack it. Yeah, and that's literally one little balloon, and it'll probably take like a minute for you to do that.
Yeah,
so for you to prepare that. Now they come in massive bottles, so all you got to do is get a little balloon, and go, shh, seconds. People doing one after the other like crazy people. You can imagine what that does to your lungs. It's not going to do them any good, is it?
Right.
So you can imagine what they're doing. Like people getting paralyzed.
It's something to do with getting oxygen to your brain as well.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
That's what you're inhaling.
Exactly. I've been down that route, and I really do not recommend it. It's not good. It's not great for you. It's not great for your brain, your lungs, and it's not worth it. You can go down a big rabbit hole with that, and it's definitely just a crackhead drug.
I mean, I hate it as well because I just see it all on the side of the road. Like when I go to the fields to walk the dog, there's just loads of canisters everywhere. I'm like, you scumbags, just throwing these on the floor.
Yeah. It's not about that. It's ridiculous. They were good back in the day, but now people are seriously abusing them because it's just so easy to do, and it's just like you say, there's a lot of litter with them, and it's not great. But let's go to like the main sort of topic, because I got a really good story.
Okay, come on then.
And we're going to go for the acid.
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay. Right. So I don't know whether I should put any names out there, but let's just say I was with someone.
Right.
Like, not physically in a relationship, like just me and a friend.
Yep.
And we're going to all these raves, and we're like, people asking us what we're taking, we're like, oh yeah, we say acid. We think we're so cool. Like, oh, yeah.
Wait, you said this?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're like, oh yeah, we take acid.
So you're saying joke as a joke? What are you saying?
Like we're like trying to be cool.
Right.
Yeah, we're like, oh yeah, we're taking some acid today. Like, what are you taking?
And this is your first time?
Like, we're just having normal conversation with random people.
Right.
And they're like, no way, you're taking acid today. And we're like, yeah.
Have you had it at this point?
Yeah, no, we physically had it.
Okay,
like, we've been taking it.
Okay, right.
And we've been doing it. Yeah.
Okay, right.
We've been taking this acid, and like nothing really happening to us. Like nothing's really happening. Okay. And it took about 3 times after that. Okay. So we done it at this first rave, and we done it at a second rave.
It's all on the same night?
No. This is 2 different events.
Right.
So we took one at one rave, dropped some acid, didn't really do anything, but we're still like, yeah, we took some acid tonight.
It's almost like a dud that you had or something.
Yeah, maybe a dud, or maybe it did do a little bit something, but I don't know. And we took it at the second rave, nothing happened. Third rave, nothing happened, but we're still like, look at us, we're cool, we're taking acid. Do you know what I mean? We're like that. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, we go to this festival, right? And it's a festival in a forest.
Right.
Full on forest.
Okay.
Speakers everywhere, amazing DJs. So we're in the middle of this sort of field with trees. I don't know why I said that.
Setting the scene.
We're like, should we drop it? Yeah, let's drop some acid, bro. We drop some acid. And I don't know, like any old day, we're dancing to the music we love. And then
it kicks in.
I had the most craziest experience of my whole entire life to this date.
The big one.
And this happened this year.
Oh, did it?
This year.
Okay.
Summertime.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't really know where it started, but we're talking to these like 2 older women.
Right.
Okay. No idea how we started talking to them.
Yeah.
But we give them some of the acid because they've asked for it. They're like, yeah, we'll take some with you, blah, blah, blah. And we had it on Haribo sweets. Okay. So we had it on a cherry. We're like, yeah, sweet. We split it all in half. Everyone's taking it, blah, blah, blah. My whole world was falling apart.
How long did it take to kick in, do you reckon?
Okay, so this is how I'm going to explain it. Okay, there was a DJ I really wanted to see. He's called Alan Fitzpatrick.
Right.
So we were preparing ourselves for that. So let's just say he's about to come on. Okay.
Yeah.
So he was coming on, let's say at 8 o'clock in the evening. Okay. It got to 8 o'clock in the evening. 15 minutes had passed.
Right.
Okay. when the clock hit 8:15, everything went in reverse. Everything went in reverse. The people, the music, people talking to me, but it was exactly the same thing I've seen. Like, it generally went back in time.
So it's like you'd already seen this.
No. It went back to 8 o'clock.
Okay.
My time was going back at 8 o'clock. The people, like, there was people going, and it would, but it wasn't like in normal time. It'd be in fast forward. People like, and the music going like that, and I was like, what is going on right now? Yeah. So it gets back to 8 o'clock. Alan Fitzpatrick starts. Yeah.
So you'd already seen him start at this
I've
point.
seen him start already. It gets to 8:15 again. Normal. Yeah.
Right.
It gets to 8:15 again. Yeah. The only thing different this time, yeah, is the everything I was looking at, there was like very shy. Everything was very shiny. And if I was to look at people's faces, it looked like they had another shadow on their face, and their face was constantly changing.
Right.
Like, I can't really explain it. So it's sort of like, if I was to look at you, the only way to explain it, if I was to look at your face, yeah, it was sort of like your face was morphing into a different version of you.
Yeah.
Like we went to a different dimension, and your face has changed so slightly. It's
like a dreamlike state. Like
yeah, exactly. So anyway, it would go back to 8:15. Yeah.
You're like Groundhog Day.
Yeah. And it reversed again.
Oh my God.
But I'm telling you right now, this same process, I can't tell you how many times it happened, but each time it got more intense and intense. So intense, yeah, I was physically watching one person, and they would screw up into a little ball and go like that. And I would go back to 8 o'clock again. I was like, I've seen this before. I've literally watched this over again. And then it got to a point, yeah, where I was like, I don't know how I'm stuck in here. I'm in a coma. I must be in a coma. And I persuaded myself. Yeah, I persuaded myself. I was like, okay, that's it now. I'm in a coma. Like, this is me. This is
you in a dream.
Yeah, this is me. This is me. Like, I'm stuck in a coma. There's no escaping from this. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm looking at the person I'm with, and he keeps going in reverse as well. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on right now. I'm like, okay, listen. I was like, and then I'm thinking, okay, if I'm in a coma now, there must be a way out of this. There must be a way. Think. I was like, think what I'm going to do here. So I take a deep breath. Yeah. And I look at the person I'm with, and I'm going, listen, I'm in a really bad state right now. I think I'm in a coma. I don't know. Okay. I've seen, and I say to him, I've seen the past 15 minutes in reverse for maybe about a year now. I know, I'm not even exaggerating.
I can imagine.
No, I'm not even exaggerating. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
I felt like this is years gone by. As I said this to him, he goes, oh my God, I've been experiencing the same thing. He's been experiencing the same thing I have for this whole time.
Wow.
As in, he's been experiencing the same 15 minutes, watching the same people go in reverse this whole time. It gets that intense, yeah? I get a message on my phone, yeah, from my Uncle Graham.
Yeah.
And there's a message on there saying, where have you been? We all miss you. And at the bottom it said 2 years ago.
It said 2 years ago, or the date was 2 years ago.
No, you know when it says, oh, you received a message 15 minutes ago?
Oh my God.
You received this message 2 years ago.
Oh my God.
No, but listen, we both saw this.
Right.
The person I was, we physically saw this. I can call out the person right now and say, do you remember their message? And he would say exactly the same thing. We both saw a message from my Uncle Graham saying, where are you? We all miss you 2 years ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah?
You left this earth.
I left this place. I was gone.
You got back in time.
I've got like I don't know what was going, but it was like I was stuck in that zone, but time had gone on, but we were just stuck in the same 15 minutes.
But you can still get phone signal.
Yeah, I was still getting phone signal. Like I don't really know.
Still message you.
Exactly. So when we saw that message, which was quite hilarious, we actually both laughed at it. We were like, "What is going on right now?" So I even said to him, I was like, "Listen, like, okay, we had a general conversation, a serious conversation. We're like, okay, we're both stuck in this forever. I think like we generally are." And I was like, "But at least we're together. At least we're together in this." And he was like, "Yeah, you're right. At least we are together." I was like, everyone else is fake in front of us because they keep going reverse. It's just me and you in this space. Like we don't know where we are right now.
Yeah.
We're having a conversation in this zone. Like it's weird. Yeah. So we're like, so I say to him, I was like, "Listen, like there must be a way out of this. We got to get out of this." Like he's like, "I don't know if there is. I don't think." I was like, "Okay, let's just get out of here." I was like, "Let's leave this stage, okay? Let's leave Alan Fitzpatrick, yeah? Let's walk away." And he was like, "Yeah, that might be a good idea." So we're walking away from the stage and we're walking back to our tent, basically.
How long was the Alan Fitzpatrick set?
It was, I believe, an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was thinking if it was 15 minutes. It'd only been 15.
Yeah. No, it gets crazy, honestly. So we're like, okay, let's walk away like from this and see what happens, see whatever happens. So we're walking away, and we get back to our tent, and we're in our tent. We're laying down. We're like, what is going on? What the hell is going on? Like this is a bad trip, if anything, or this could be worse than a trip. We could be both like in some weird coma. I kept saying that we're in a coma. I was making it 10 times worse.
You were convinced.
Yeah. So we were in the tent for about 30 seconds. We didn't even stay in there. We're like, should we go back out? We're like, yeah, we might as well. See what was happening out there. So we literally, but the thing is, we get in our tent, we zip it up and everything, like full zips, both zips.
In the sleeping bag.
No, we didn't even have a sleeping bag. We're literally sleeping on solid grass floor. Like it was mental. So we're in this tent for 30 seconds and we leave and we're walking back to the stage. And we're like, is it going to happen again? And it did.
But you were together this time?
No. Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to experience it together this time?
No.
Then?
So we walked back.
Yeah.
And it was the start of Alan Fitzpatrick again. It was.
No.
It was. It was. I swear.
And you both had the same experience?
We both had the same experience. We both had the same experience. From a doctor, yeah. So, but this is where it gets a bit crazy. Yeah. Okay. So we get back, and even though that is crazy, we get back, and it's the start of Alan Fitzpatrick, and we're like, oh my God, it's going to happen again. I was like, I don't want it to happen. This is too much for me. This is too much for my brain. I feel like I'm going to cry. So time goes past. It gets to the 15-minute mark. I'm like, are you ready? He was like, yeah. I was like, to hold my hand. I was like, if it's going to happen again, we just have to embrace this. And we're holding our hands, and it gets past the 15-minute mark, and time just goes normally. But after the 15-minute mark, yeah, it was like the biggest euphoria I've ever felt in my life. Like something has come up from my feet and gone through my body.
You're so happy that you're out of it.
No, it wasn't anything like that. Obviously, I was glad that it was over, but it was like someone had flicked a switch and it had gone, and it was over. So the only thing I can explain from that, it was like time had stopped. This is what I've taken from it, okay? Time had stopped for both of us, in this forest. Yeah, completely. Yeah. So time had stopped probably at 8 o'clock. Yeah. Everything on from that Yeah, so somehow we'd seen the next 15 minutes of our life go by. Yeah, but from that point onwards, we're so deep in that acid trip, time had paused, everything was a dream, but we were inside the same acid trip together. We were able to talk to each other,
which only lasted 15 minutes.
Well, exactly, but it felt like years.
Yeah,
it felt like we were in there for probably at least, like, I don't know, like, the 2 years thing came up on the phone, but it felt like we were in there for a week. Yeah, this one state. Yeah, but it said 2 years on our phone.
It wasn't like an hour later, was it? So it was like 9:15. So it still would have been.
No. It was the start. It was the start of Alan Fitzpatrick again.
All right.
Yeah, so it was like time had frozen. We'd come into this. We'd come into the scenery we know. Yeah, so we were just like two puppets in this stage, and we were able to talk to each other and able to communicate with each other. But everything we'd seen around us was just on record and going back and forward, reverse, over and over again. And then it was like when we went back to the tent, yeah, and we came back again, it was just playing. It was like when we came to the stage, it was exactly the same as we came to the stage when we first originally came to Alan Fitzpatrick. And then from that point onwards, it was normal. That makes sense. That's the only way I can explain it. So wherever we were there together. Yeah. And we was able to talk to each other inside our minds.
Each other's own heads.
Yeah. That's literally it. And it felt like at the end of the 15 minutes, it felt like I was one with the forest.
Right.
It felt like I knew the forest. It felt like the forest came and grabbed me by the balls. Because you've
been there for so long.
It felt like the forest grabbed me by the balls and it gave me all its energy. That's the only way I can explain it, when I felt that euphoric feeling.
Yeah.
It was mental.
That sounds absolutely mental.
It was mental. And from that day, I am never going to do
I would say I'll never want to be in that experience again.
Ever again. I would see... Like when you do mushrooms and stuff like that, it's quite a similar experience, but it feels natural.
Right.
When you take acid, you can feel the chemical in there. You can feel the chemical in there. But it takes you away.
Wow.
Yeah. And there is you know, this is what I mean. Like this is what it does to you. And if it happened to me in my own brain and everything I was saying, the person I was with, like didn't remember it, then I'll be like, okay, yeah, it all happened in my head. But because he can recall everything I experienced and I can recall everything he experienced, it was like, okay, this is something more than that.
I wonder if it's almost like one of you was having the experience, and then because you were telling the other person, they kind of felt like they were experiencing it through the other person's.
Yeah. So I do think that as well. Yeah. But the thing what gave it away was, well, I mean, maybe you're right, maybe you are right, but it was just the time thing, and it was just everything he was saying to me, I'd already experienced. But maybe that's what it's all about. Maybe that's what it is. And it's very strange.
That's nuts. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
I love that. I love that it's a joint experience as well. I think that's what makes it so special.
Yeah.
Even though you probably never want to do it again, it's like just have that joint. It's exactly the same with me and Ben. It was like so memorable because that we both experienced that at the same time.
Yeah. It was crazy, man. It was literally insane what we experienced. That's what I'm, you know, and that's what I'm saying. I do like them out of body experiences, but it didn't feel natural enough for me. That felt very chemical. And that's what I've learned from doing all these things. Like, I've learned that I prefer stuff more natural, like mushrooms and stuff like that. Even though I haven't really done a lot of them, but there is another one called DMT, which we spoke about in the first ever podcast, and I would like to try that because that, like, so many people talk about that, and that's a hard one to explain, a very hard one to explain. And you're meant to go to different places in that. And it's not really, like when people hear about that, if they're like, oh my God, like it sounds like you're basically taking heroin, but it's not. This is a natural substance found in natural things. This is found in people's brains. This is found in trees. Just like mushrooms, it's literally exactly the same extent. Like when people, same as when people go to a forest and lick a toad, it's on the same extent to that. Like this is like natural stuff, and that's why I'm here. Like I enjoy that.
Yeah,
I enjoy that. I want to know what
you're
the brain
experiencing the natural world and
exactly
how it can unlock your. That's
exactly
what it seems to be like. Hence why back in the '60s and like the Beatles and stuff, doing LSD, and it's like unlocking some creative part of your mind that the like channels that artistic side of you kind of that have these mad trips where 15 minutes happens for years.
Literally it's amazing. But the thing is, like, it was such a good experience. Like, I'm so happy I experienced it.
You wouldn't want to risk
I wouldn't want to do it again because I've experienced it already. Like that was probably the worst possible thing that could ever happen to me on acid, and it happened.
I
know the capabilities of it. I know the capabilities of it. I don't need to experience it again. If I was to ever do it again, I'll not ever take just as much as I did. Maybe I didn't know how much I took, so I probably took loads. But yeah, other than that, don't do drugs, kids.
That is the message.
That is the message. Because I'm here. This is what I'm here for. I'm here because I've experienced it for you. So any sort of advice you want, just ask me. Oh, no. We do need to carry on. We need to carry on.
Go on.
Because we need to talk about cocaine.
Okay. Yeah, go on.
Because cocaine, right, is very bad.
Okay. Go on.
Okay.
I mean, it's just all chemicals going up your nose.
Exactly.
And your body,
Do not do cocaine ever. Okay, unless you can handle it. If you can handle it, go for it.
I'm about to say, don't do it.
Yeah, but no. But I feel like cocaine just leads to bad decisions, and well, it has for me. Every time I've done it, and when I did go down my dark path, I was very much doing cocaine back then.
Right, yeah,
and I don't know why I done it.
It put you deeper into a hole.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. It doesn't put you into the euphoric state that I've been telling you. It doesn't take your mind away. This puts you heavy in your thoughts, like, and it can make you. Some people, it makes you feel like you're Superman. It doesn't to me. Some people, it makes them feel happy. Like
it makes you feel invincible.
It does. Yeah, for me, it's put me in bad decisions. I used to literally go round this woman's house. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny, but it was stupid.
Yeah.
I used to go around there on a work night, middle of the week. Yeah. I was probably 19, 20 at the time. Yeah. Used to go around there. I believe this woman was like 30, around that age at the time. We used to stay up all night sniffing cocaine, doing weird stuff, like dancing in the living room to like music, putting saucepans on our heads. It was hilarious.
At the time,
it was hilarious at the time, but now I think about like why did we do that?
I do that?
Don't get me wrong, it was the best memories. I'm glad we done it, but it's always led to bad decisions. It's always led to bad decisions, unless you know what you're doing with it. And yeah, I don't touch that stuff ever. And even I've never touched it in years, and it don't sit right with me. And I think it's pointless. Other people can say otherwise, but I don't recommend it.
Okay. If
the person I was talking about is watching this, we had some great times, 100%, 100%. You know who you are, but cocaine leads to bad decisions, so don't do it.
Do you think she'd agree?
It could have been a boy.
What, you said a woman's house?
Okay, I did. I did.
Do you want to keep that in?
Narrows it down. No one knows who it is. No one knows who that is.
Well, that's interesting. That's unlocked another part of my brain. Just
listening.
Just
Yeah,
listening.
yeah. Listen,
I think it's fascinating.
I feel like we should do DMT together.
Oh my god, I couldn't.
No. I feel like
don't want to.
I feel like we should.
I don't want to.
I feel like we should. Because I feel like you need to do some research about it. Have some research about it.
Mm.
Yeah. Have some research. Watch a few videos, what people talk about, and then answer me.
We'll see. We'll do a live podcast.
We'll do it live. We'll do it, and we'll come back to this one day, and we'll talk about our experience together.
Well, we'll have to see if that ever happens.
Yeah, I think it would.
That is the. We didn't even introduce this series at the beginning of this episode.
No, we didn't. But that was the last episode.
Yeah, that was the last episode of the Taboo series. That was drugs, and episode 5. That is the end of the season. So, we're not going to say what the next season is. We'll let you know soon. But we got it in the works.
Yes.
So if you like this, remember you can always re-listen to the episodes or just wait for the next season to come out.
Yeah,
and we'll keep you updated.
I hope you're glad we're back.
Yep.
It's been very fun making these podcasts. It's a new version of us. We've had to move on from our old videos. So, we're grown up now. So, and, you guys, all our fans have grown up with us. So I hope you like this more matured sort of outlook. I hope you found it funny and you've learned some stuff about us.
Yep.
You've definitely learned some stuff about us today. And yeah, give us some ideas, like what you would want us to do in the future.
What do you want to see in a season?
And obviously, tell us about your experience as well, because we're more than happy to know about.
I'd love to know
what
you guys have experienced.
And if you put it in the comments, maybe we'll mention it in a little extra video.
Oh, maybe.
Future.
You never know.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes out. But
yeah. I'm honestly, by this time we haven't actually dished out the videos, so
yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm so excited to release these. Yeah,
so excited.
This is before we've even released the first episode, which is Death. So
exactly,
it's all very exciting.
And I haven't even rewatched them back yet, so I'm probably going to regret a lot of things I've said.
We probably regretted all of this season,
especially this episode.
There's no going back.
Yeah, there is no going back. Yeah. But anyway, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in season 2.
See you in season 2.